What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Movement Mindset powered by Station Athletics. I'm Chris Hardenberg here with Dave Whitson. And today we're going to be talking about a topic that was suggested to us by Coach Sam Sovolove. Unfortunately, she moved, so Sam's not here. So shout out to you, Sam. Hope Pittsburgh's treating you well. Hopefully you're listening. But she gave us a suggested topic of what to do or tips and tricks on what to do if you've fallen off track and you need to get back on track, or how to stay consistent if motivation wanes. And so that was kind of like her topic. And so before we got on the mics, I was like, all right, hey, let's cut it in half.
Okay.
Let's talk about what to do if you find yourself that you've fallen off the wagon. And then the second half, we'll talk about if you find your motivation waning, but you're still going to the gym, how do you stay consistent? So let's talk about getting back on track first.
All right. So I'm probably a good example of this.
Okay.
Because I've good example and bad example at the same time.
Yeah.
Because I've fallen off several times, and getting consistent and getting back on track is tough. So I think it kind of falls into two categories mostly when it comes back to going to the gym. When you've fallen off, you know you need to get back to working out, or whether it's everything else, including like nutrition, everything else, right? So for me, played sports in high school, pretended to play sports in college.
Yeah.
Just got beat up. Good way to put it. What do you call it? So, and then started really kind of exercising and getting into working out kind of halfway through college.
Okay.
In a different way, because everything else before that was to perform at your sport.
Yep.
So a lot of people who were athletes, if they stopped having their sport, they didn't do the working out as much because the workout was for a purpose.
Right.
Right. And then you kind of, unless you're someone who really enjoyed working out. And most of my hockey time, I did not enjoy working out.
Okay.
Which I later learned my coach was a soccer coach that made us run like soccer players. So Dave at 260 pounds as a junior in high school was not doing great running on the golf course and doing like sit-ups and burpees on the golf course.
Yeah.
It wasn't going well. Yeah. What do you call it? Maybe lose weight though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was 170 going to my senior year.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I put muscle back on afterwards though. So for me, it was always working out was related to a sport. And so going to the gym and kind of dilly-dallying and whatever, like it didn't really work well for me until I found a way to kind of make it a sport in my brain.
Yeah.
An idea of like setting goals for it. So part of that was me kind of finding a new purpose in going to the gym, since the old purpose was no longer there or it wasn't strong enough.
Right.
Right? Because when you're 23, you're not thinking about your heart health.
No.
Like you're not.
JJ, you think about hearts?
Yeah.
Actually, my heart felt a little weird in the drive down. I was like, ooh, maybe we should get this checked out.
Oh, no.
I already forgot about it.
All that caffeine.
That's not okay.
I don't drink caffeine.
Oh, okay. Well, you should probably get that checked out.
That removes the reason why we thought maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're 23, you don't realize taking pre-workout, a coffee, and a C4 when C4 was like deadly was an issue.
Yeah.
Right. You just don't think about those things. It's like, oh, I'm going to work out. I'm bulking, so I'm going to get a Chipotle burrito, and 2 hours later, I'm going to get a General Tso's chicken, even though it's for two, and eat it by myself because rice is a cheap carb source.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that?
So when I used to work at Target,
Here we go. Not a yes, no, but a whole story.
I was trying to like lose weight, so I had a whole like there's a Qdoba down the road, so I already had like a cutting meal, and then I was like, I'll make a bulking meal too. So I had a bulking meal. So I still have it actually. So I go to Chipotle, Qdoba. I already have like the whole meal planned out in my head. So yes, I've done that multiple times, and
Yeah,
I'll
because you get a
continue
1,000-calorie meal like Chipotle or Qdoba pretty easily.
100%.
Yeah, it's pretty fast.
It's so easy.
Yeah. So anyway, so part of it was I needed like a new purpose for working out.
Yeah.
Right. So then fast forward, going. Okay, working out regularly for a long time, and then stopped completely. Completely stopped. Stressed out in life, all that stuff. Stopped completely. Was not working out at all. And every time I went to go work out, it sucked. It was so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it sucked. I used to be able to, we're going to do like 400 meters or even 800s like to warm up and stuff like that or whatever. Like, cool, I'll jog it, fine.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it was like 3 years since I had really, really worked out. And I went for a 400-meter run. I was like, now I know why people hate me when I tell them to go for a 400-meter run.
Yeah.
And so I was trapped in this old identity of what was supposed to be working out for me. Right? Like, oh, I'm supposed to be able to deadlift this much. I'm supposed to be able to do burpees this fast.
Right.
I'm supposed to be able to do this many wall balls in a row. I'm supposed to feel like this when I row at 1,300 calories per hour.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you row a bunch, you start learning what you can hold and what gets the calories taken over just a little bit faster if you go a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Right? 1,350 is like the beginning of the calories really moving for you. Sorry for everyone who doesn't hit that. I know it's worse. On any of the air bikes, 60 RPMs and up, starts going.
Yeah.
But now when I do 60 RPMs and I sit there and it's like 2 minutes, I'm like, what did I do to myself?
Yeah.
Right? So the first part for me was I needed a new purpose to work out. And second was I needed to get over like my old identity and what I could do.
Yeah.
Right? Because even coaching classes, it was, oh, someone dropped a 225 pound front squat. I can power clean it. Kind of cold because it was a strong movement for me. And now it's like, oh, deadlifting that didn't feel quite as good as it used to.
Right.
Yeah. So for me, it was I needed a new purpose in working out. And the second was identity. And both of those things, quite honestly, had to do a lot with me kind of getting over myself and not believing my own victim story and I don't have time, I'm too stressed, or I'm supposed to move or do a certain thing or look a certain way in class or be able to do certain things at the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was for me personally. And then it was once I was able to kind of get over myself, then it was just a discipline thing.
Yeah.
Which for most of us, discipline is the main thing we need to work on to get back in. Because it's a lot of work to find a new why or purpose. Mm-hmm. Like that's a lot of deep thought and it takes time. But I think most of us will get motivation once we start. We don't get motivation before we start.
Yeah.
Unless something hits so hard, like a bad doctor's report or anything like that, right? Which thankfully I didn't have a bad doctor's report. But that probably would have got me back working out a lot quicker.
Yeah, well, yes, yeah.
Right? So if you don't want to hit rock bottom, I think part of it is really understanding that maybe your old identity and what you think you could have done is holding you back because you're scared to realize it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
And then the other one is not feeling like you're a victim or you can't do because you have no time.
Yeah.
Because there's also too many people that have very little time that figure out how to work out 3 times a week.
Yep.
And it might not be at the time you want, but you don't need to have this checklist of things being perfect in your life to work out 3 times a week.
Yep.
Like, oh, if I can't work out at 5:15, I'm not working out at all. Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck. Just like, oh, have 1 kid.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Get married. Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or just, way life works and everything. So all of a sudden, since I was so used to working out at 10:30 in the morning, that was the time, and I had all these things lined up to make it easy for me to work out that I didn't have anymore. I didn't even realize I had this checklist of things that I needed to achieve to make working out feasible for me. And none of it was true.
Right. Or if anything, or if there's a hole poked in any of it, it's like, oh, well, not today.
Might as well throw it all out.
Yeah. So I think it's really cool as you were talking. It's funny. So we split this in half, right? What do you do when you fall off? And you're like, I'm a great personal example of this. And here's what I've learned. And so for you, I'm going to try to summarize again. It was letting go of like the old reason to work out or your old self, not falling into like dogmatic ways of thinking about exercise. Mm-hmm. And then the third one was just being disciplined. And I know it sounds stupid to just be like, you should just be disciplined. But to an effect, part of it is just that, is like remove your feelings and just understand that it's like, no, like I'm going to be disciplined and come 3 days a week. Right. Yep. So that's that. For the motivation waning, I think I'm a great example of this. And the reason why I say this, and again, I know it's not a direct correlation, so don't hear me wrong, guys, but I vividly remember training for team quarterfinals. I want to say it was like maybe 2022 or something like that. And I remember sitting like in between some sort of intervals, just being like, this is the last thing I want to be doing right now. And for me, that was like the first time the light bulb went off that it's like, I think I'm done.
Yeah.
And for me, like in that moment, I had a competition ahead of me, and it was like, but if I'm done now, I'm doing those people I signed up with a disservice. Mm-hmm. And so in that moment, I had to figure out, how do I stay consistent even though my motivation is waning to that end point, and then I could kind of adjust goals from there, right? And so I think what worked for me was, again, starting from the back end of you, is just being disciplined. Mm-hmm. It was like, I know these are the days I work out. These are the times I work out. I've worked it into my schedule. And so I'm going to show up to the gym on those days at those times. Yeah. Now, what I do on those days and times might change. Like if I'm really shot, like I might pull back on what I'm doing, but it's like I'm going to go in and at least start warming up, because I found that more often than not, when people get into the gym and start the warm up, they're there. Like there's no like, hey guys, you know what? I'm going home, right? Most people are not doing that. And so if you said like, I've worked out my schedule that I have these times that I can work out and there's no reason for me to not go, I'm just gonna go and see what happens from there. So that's the first thing that I did. The second thing that I did was really try to relieve pressure on myself of like, again, certain things I should or shouldn't be doing. And so trying to make training fun again.
Yep.
And so for people who are maybe working out 3 times per week, make it fun, right? Like just go and maybe you shoot the breeze with your friends and you lift lighter that day, but you moved and you got something in. That's going to allow you to stay consistent even though your motivation wanes. And that's the big thing. Like I keep saying motivation is because there's a difference between discipline and motivation. Like discipline is like, you're just going to do it because you know what you're supposed to do and your feelings don't play a role. And I think that's the big thing is people have to get really good at removing their feelings from the equation because your feelings will lie to you. Yeah, but your discipline and what your body is saying will tell you the truth. And then the other thing is like, I had someone outside myself that I was pushing me, right? Like I didn't want to let those people down. But now that I've gotten out of that, you know, there are still times now work is stressful and motivation wanes. And I think the big thing is like, I'm going to get in 45 minutes today.
Yep.
I'm going to get in a half hour today because I know working out is important and it's a Wednesday. And if I don't get it in on a Wednesday, like it's not like I can do it on a Thursday because I got to do these things because I've mapped it around. So yeah, I would say the big thing, guys, if motivation starts to wane and you need to get consistent again is like, we talked about like Asana in your calendar, like be a slave to that. Just be like, hey, I'm just going to get up and go. And if I start warming up and I want to go home, cool, you can go home. Have you ever had that time where you got into a class and decided to go home?
I've never taken a class and decided to go home. I've seen one person, I'm not going to say their name, not here, where I knew if they showed up 15 minutes before class, they're going to start psyching themselves out.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it became this whole thing where what can we do to make this person, ask them to do things so they're too busy, so they don't realize, like they're not overthinking watching people work out and that they're going next. Yeah, it was really, really, it was weird. I was like, hey, can you help me with this, this, and this? Hey, all the wall balls are facing in. And we had a sign that said laces out, like from...
what's the
Ace
football?
Ventura.
Yes.
Yeah.
Laces out, Marino.
It's like, hey, can you put all the laces out? And I knew just by giving tasks, this person then wouldn't be thinking about the workout.
Yeah.
But when I saw them come in and sit down and they weren't doing anything, but they're going to leave.
Yeah.
They're going to leave.
Yeah, and you're right. Most people, when you come into a class, you start warming up, you start talking to your friends, you're not turning around and leaving.
No. The only thing I've ever done is when I'm working out by myself, if I start warming up, I'm like, I don't feel too good. Is my day turns into like simple cyclical movements where it's 20 minutes of row, bike, D-ball carry, like stuff like that, but it's still something. Yeah. So I'll still change it.
Yeah, and I found that for me, feelings follow action. So like if I just know like I'm going in, I'm working out, I'm going to start my warm up. If it has to be 45 minutes and I need to cut it short, that's fine. If I'm in the middle of the conditioning and I feel real bad, all right, hey, I'm going to do one more round and not do the whole thing. Like if I just stay consistent with that, then the feeling of wanting to go to work out or hey, I want to hit this today, like that follows. It's rarely the opposite. It's rarely like all of a sudden God is going to come down and grace me with, you want to go to the gym today, and then my actions follow. And so I want you guys to understand that you can, outside of the moment, sit with your calendar, map out when you're going to go, and decide I'm going to go whether I have the motivation to or not. And after doing that consistently and taking bite-sized chunks, like the will and the want to will follow. So yeah, so just to boil it down is being disciplined on when you're going to go, and then being forgiving of yourself and working within yourself and being okay with tailoring or modifying or adjusting your workout for the day.
Well, so I tell people to pre-enroll because you can link it to your phone calendar.
Yeah.
So then you submit to the fact that it's in your calendar. Because if you decide when you're walking out of work if you're going to work out or not, you're probably not going to work out.
Probably not.
Yeah, but you also didn't feel like going to work that morning.
Right.
You also, like you didn't feel like waking up at 5:30 so you can get ready for work or whatever. So there's lots of things we do, even though we don't feel like doing it.
Yep.
And so your future self will thank you that you decided to work out when you didn't want to do it either.
Yeah. So if you're someone who's fallen off the wagon, listen to the first part with Dave on, focusing on your why, letting go of the old self and being disciplined in your approach. If you're someone whose motivation wanes and you want to stay consistent because you've been an active gym goer, maybe listen to my part about finding your discipline, how to set those times in your calendar. Hopefully you don't have multiple calendars in your calendar. And being able to adjust workouts on the fly to stay in that zone where you feel good working out. Thanks for listening, guys. Sam, shout out to you again. As always, guys, like and subscribe to us on YouTube and Instagram. Give us a 5-star rating on the podcast platform you listen on. We'll see you at the gym.